She has the slim lens. Okay, as you know, I'm Pat Henricksen with, well, Lincoln Way is the parent of Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Imagination Library has to have some 501c3 handle it, and we are the parent of that organization. And really, I'll just tell you a little bit. In 1996, Dolly Parton launched an exciting new effort to benefit the children in her hometown of East Tennessee. By mailing high-quality, age-appropriate books directly to their homes, she wanted children to be excited about books and to feel the magic of the books that it can create. Moreover, she wanted to ensure that every child would have a book, regardless of their income. So at that time, I was part of early learning, Clinton County and Jackson County, and they looked at me and said, Jackson County has Dolly Parton Imagination. You go and build Dolly Parton Imagination, Clinton County. So that's what we did. And I started with having Lincoln Way help give me, and as you can see, so did Noon Lions help give me money to get it started. The first year we sent out about 500 books. Right now we're sending 1,000 books a month to kids in Clinton County, all of Clinton County. About 600 of them go to Clinton, but every town in Clinton County gets books except for Welton. And so if you see a kid running around Welton, give me his name, because we want to make sure that we have books everywhere in Clinton County. We've been doing this since 2012, and that's when we started it here. And we have about 3,500 kids from 0 to 5 in Clinton County. So we'd love to be able to give every one of them a book every month, but we're keeping it at 1,000. It costs us about $2,000 every month to send out books, or about $25,000 a year. We usually get about 1,400 from United Way, and like 14,000. Did I say 1,400? Sorry. Anyway, and so we're always looking for that extra 10 to 11,000, and you have greatly given it to us over the years. And I mean, we just always ask, if you can, fine. If you can't, we have some other people that are happy to give us those things. But the books are really, really valuable books. They're good books, age appropriate. And the first book is The Little Book That Could, or The Little Engine That Could. And it's darling, it's a hardcover book for kids. And so it starts out with their name on it, it's mailed to them. So we love doing this. So it's been great over the years. We've probably mailed over 95,000 books over those years. So I'm really happy to say I hope the teachers appreciate it. They do. Sometimes we go and ask the kindergarten teachers, you know, who gets the book, tell me how they're doing, and that sort of thing, so we get some statistics about the fact that we are doing a good job. So those kind of things. But really a specialist in this is the preschool teacher, the kindergarten teacher, Beth Weiskircher, who can tell you all about it and a lot more than I did.
Thank you. So I was raised by parents from the Depression, and they were tight with it. So I am not quite as tight, but almost. And I think if you think about the fact that it costs us about $25 a year to buy books for kids, you can't buy 12 good quality books for $25. So yeah, Dolly pays for half, and she makes sure that they are, she goes to the publisher. And these aren't books that Dolly comes up with. These are already well-approved good children's books. And also in the back, she gives suggestions how to use these books. Here's what you might want to do before you read the book. Here's what you might want to do while you're reading the book, and here's some fun follow-up things that you might want to do after you read the book. I want you to think for a minute about a book that someone read to you as a kid that you can remember. So just think about what that book, not Nancy Drew or Hardy Boys or Charlotte's Web that you read. I want you to think of the book that someone read to you. Think of that while I'm talking. So as a kindergartner, preschool, and then later kindergarten teacher, I was very concerned about that every child needs to be a successful reader. And I want you to know that you started on that path to be a successful reader, not when you could sing ABCs, not when you recognized your name, not when you read that first book. You started on the path to be a successful reader when you start hearing those first words, probably from your parents, and probably before you were born. I don't know how many pairs of pajamas you had, but before you were born, you heard your parents talking, and that's when you started on your path to learn to read. Because you hear a word, you say a word, you read a word, and you write a word, and that circle keeps expanding bigger and bigger and bigger to the vocabulary that you have. So why do we need books to start us on that? If we're going to hear those words, the words that you hear from your parents are informal language, or your let's go, time to eat, come on, hurry up, did you brush your teeth? That is our informal language. It doesn't use those big fancy words. It doesn't have that fun, formal language. So here's my grandson, who's unfortunately named Clyde, but Clyde and I have read Flight of the Dragons, and we love this book. So listen to the language of Flight of the Last Dragon. Come, if you dare, deep underground, make no whisper, shh, no sound. Below the city, far from the sun, beneath the subway where sewers run, where mice squeak and rats mumble, and distant train wheels rattle and rumble. For here is his home, oh gaze upon the last dragon, Altamont. Okay, that's not the way we speak when we speak to each other. That is the formal language of books. In our fiction books, we're going to find out there's a problem. Here is a problem. He is the last dragon on earth. We're going to learn empathy. Believe me, Clyde would do anything for Altamont to make him feel better. And there's going to be there's a problem, and we're going to solve that problem. And I think that's a really important skill that we need to be able to solve problems. If you start looking at the number of nonfiction books for preschoolers, would you agree with me? They are so cool right now. Clyde is also into the Who Would Win books and pitting two animals and learning about those animals. So learning about the world around him that he can't see right here in DeWitt. So why do we need to have books in the home? We have a top tier library across the street, and you will see me over there. I will do anything for that library, and Jeanette, our new librarian, is gonna make that place come alive. If you were there yesterday afternoon when the kids were there, that library was alive. But why do we need the books in their home? And that is because you need to read that book over and over and over and over. So that book that I always think about when I say think of your book was a book about the three bears visiting Goldilocks' house. I was the youngest kid. My book didn't have a front cover or a back cover. That was long gone. But I can tell you exactly I can tell you about every picture in that book and what happened to it, happened on each page. And as you read those books over and over and over again, you're going to start noticing new things in the picture and new things that are happening. You're going to start seeing that the word Ultiman is the same on every page. Oh, all of that, it always starts with the U. The word said always starts with the S. And then you're gonna start making that connection between the sounds and the word, and the letters and the words. But the big thing is, you just don't find out everything about a book the first time you've read it. Clyde and I also love the book Abi Yo-Yo. Abi Yo-Yo is about a South African giant that can go in the meadow and pick up a sheep and eat it in one bite. So there's a lot of excitement in Abi Yo-Yo. But in that story, the boy, the main characters, the boy and his dad, are ostracized. That means they made him live at the edge of town. Well, the first 99 times, we probably just skipped right over that. That was part of the story. But as we've read that story when he was 3 and when he was 4, but when we got to 5, I started asking him, ostracized. What do you think? What do you think, Clyde? Should they made him live at the edge of town? Was that okay? And he thought, and he said, well, his dad had made some bad decisions, but the boy, he really shouldn't have been made. So we had some pretty high level thinking about that situation. And maybe he will think about when other kids are ostracized from a group. Maybe he will think about how that boy felt. So that's why I think every kid needs to have a book of their own. Whether it has a front and a back cover, I don't care, but they need to have books of their own. So I want you to go back to that book that I told you to put in your head. I had that one with the 3 bears and Goldilocks. I bet you can hear that story. I bet you know where it was read. I can feel the couch that we were sitting on. I know how good it felt to have my mom next to me. She read it. And my dad always read to me the bedtime story, this dumb big book of 365 stories, but it sure felt good to be tucked in under those covers and having Dad read it in his very soft, soothing, please go to sleep voice. So that is why I am such a big proponent of books in the house. But Tammy's going to tell you about something that's really cool coming up.
And to add to Beth's note, it's also something great when a kid gets a book in the mail once a month. And I was at the Dolly Parton Imagination Library Convention this year because it was online, and their big announcement was, now Dolly Parton is going to sing she's going to sing a happy birthday song to each family for their kid's birthday if they add that. So that's a little incentive too. Maybe some of you want to pretend you're under 5 and get Dolly to sing to you guys. But that's not really why I'm here. Please think twice before you become a good friend of Patty's. Because suddenly you're asking everybody you know for money. Or help. So anyway, we are a board probably of about 12 people. We have tried different fundraisers from Denim Day to just begging you face to face for money. They all fell flat. Well, then we looked around the table earlier this summer and said, we're all teachers. Let's do something we know. So we came up with an event, and you can see the sign down there, called Touch a Truck. And basically what it is it's a car show for little kids. It's gonna be behind the high school in the parking lot. We have 26 vehicles lined up right now, from cranes to street sweepers, of course a fire engine, several of them, semis, road graders. I can't wait to sit on the road grader. But anyway, so
we have insurance.
Yes. So anyway, what's going to happen from noon to 4 is kids are going to come, climb all over these trucks, honk the horn, steady in the steering wheel, get their pictures taken, all of that. So we're hoping that this fundraiser is going to hit it off for us, because like Patty said, we would like to pay for the books for all 3,000 kids in Clinton County if we could. Because I think it's great for kids. Just think about, by the time you're 1, you already have 12 books that you yourself own. And that's a great thing. So on the table is the information. We're still taking sponsorships if you would like to sponsor. But more than anything, please pass the word that we're having this event on the 26th. Because I think kids will love it.
And you don't have to cook because there will be food
Yes,
trucks
there will be food trucks there for you also. So, yeah, so please think about bringing people to behind the high school on the 26th. Getting a tractor yourself. I'm gonna get in that road grader. So, anyway, and then back to Patty to
beg.
close up the begging.
I'm begging, yes, on your tables. If you know of a child, I hope your kids are lined up, right? Do you get the books?
Yep, we do.
Yes. Good, you like them?
We love the little excavator, and that's our favorite.
Right,
It's the
good.
best.
So come see it. Oh,
We are having an
yeah,
excavator, I
so-
believe.
I mean, it is a mini
Right.
excavator.
Anyway, and it's like, we can't ask the people that get the books, that's part of Dolly. Lincoln Way has to go and look for the money. So, anyway, if you would ever feel like you wanted to give a child a book for a year, it's $30 a year. And, just mail it to Box 225 or give it to one of us, whatever, doesn't matter. But we are so happy to be able to say thank you for what you've done for us for all those years. You helped us start this, and I mean thank you. And thank you for helping us keep it going every once in a while. That's all we asked, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.